At family dinner, my sister-in-law blurted, "Should we tell him about the abortion?" Everyone went silent. I said, "Tell me what?" Then my wife tried to silence her, but I just stood up, thanked everyone for their honesty, and left. When I returned with my lawyer 3 days later, I, 32 male, was having a regular Sunday dinner at my in-laws. Nothing special, just the usual twice-monthly thing. My wife and I had been married 4 years, together 6 total. We'd been trying for a baby for the last 8 months or so, except apparently we hadn't been trying at all. But I'm getting ahead of myself. So we're all sitting there, me, my wife, her parents, her brother and his wife, her younger sister. Everyone's eating pot roast, drinking wine, normal family stuff. My sister-in-law was on her 3rd glass of wine, getting chatty. Then she looks at my wife and goes, "Should we tell him about the abortion?" Everything stopped, like someone hit pause on the whole room. I looked up. "Tell me what?" My wife's face went ghost white. Her mom looked like she wanted to crawl under the table. Her dad suddenly became very focused on his mashed potatoes. Her brother was staring daggers at his wife. My sister-in-law's eyes went wide. Oh God, I thought he knew." "Knew what?" I asked. My voice was steady, too steady. My wife reached for my hand. "Baby, let's talk about this at home." I moved my hand away. "What, abortion?" Nobody said anything. You could hear the kitchen clock ticking. My wife started tearing up. Her mom jumped in. "Now let's not make a scene. We're all adults here." "Someone answer the question," I said. Still calm, weirdly calm. My wife was full-on crying now. "It was 2 years ago. I got pregnant and I wasn't ready. We weren't ready. 2 years ago. We were married 2 years at that point. We'd literally had conversations about starting a family. I'd told her I wanted kids. She'd said she did too. You were pregnant, terminated it, and never mentioned it. I knew you'd try to convince me not to. So you made a massive decision about a potential kid and just didn't tell me for 2 years?" Her brother tried stepping in. "Look, man, her body, her choice. I'm not debating abortion rights," I said. "I'm talking about my wife lying to me for 2 years about something huge, and apparently everyone at this table knew except me." I looked around the table. Nobody was meeting my eyes. "You all knew," I said. "My mother-in-law, she needed support during a difficult time. From everyone but her husband." "Cool, that's good to know." I stood up, pulled out my wallet, dropped 3 20s on the table. "For my share of dinner, thanks for the honesty tonight, it's been real." My wife grabbed my arm. "Where are you going? We need to talk." "We needed to talk 2 years ago. Right now I need to think." I walked out, got in my car and just drove. Ended up at a hotel about an hour later. My phone was blowing up. Didn't answer. Just sat in that hotel room thinking about every single conversation we'd had about kids. About the 8 months I'd been genuinely excited every time we thought it might have worked. About how she'd been going through the motions while I was actually hoping for something real. Next morning, I Googled divorce lawyers. Update 1 week since the dinner. Still at the hotel. Haven't been home. Met with a lawyer. Good guy, straightforward. Laid out my options, what divorce looks like, the timeline. Told him everything. The abortion, the family conspiracy of silence, 2 years of lying. He took notes and said we had plenty of grounds, but that in our state it doesn't really matter since we have no-fault divorce anyway. Still, he said, helps to document the betrayal for settlement negotiations. My wife figured out where I was staying. Showed up in the lobby a few days ago. Front desk called my room, and I told them I wasn't accepting visitors. She called from downstairs. "You can't just run away from this." "I'm not running. I'm processing. There's a difference. I made one mistake 2 years ago, and you're ending our marriage?" One mistake. Like it was a single moment, not 700 days of active lying. "You didn't make a mistake," I said. "You made a choice, then you chose to lie about it every single day for 2 years. Then you let your entire family in on the secret except me. That's not one mistake." She started crying. "I was scared. I didn't know how to tell you. You had 730 opportunities. Are you really going to divorce me over this?" "I'm going to divorce you because you still don't think you did anything wrong." Hung up. She tried calling back a bunch of times. Blocked her. Her brother called later that day. Tried the reasonable approach. "Hey man, I get that you're upset. Does your wife make major life decisions without you?" Pause. "That's not the same." Does she lie to you for years? Does your whole family know things about your marriage that you don't? Silence. Didn't think so. Look, she messed up, but your family. She's your family. She stopped being mine when she decided I didn't deserve honesty. You're going to blow up your marriage over something that happened years ago? It didn't happen years ago. The lying happened yesterday and the day before and every day for 2 years. The lie is present tense. He tried the guilt trip angle. Marriage is about forgiveness. Everyone makes mistakes. You're being dramatic. The usual. I let him finish. Tell your sister she'll be hearing from my lawyer, I said and hung up. That was yesterday. This morning I went to the house while she was at work. My house, technically. Bought it before marriage, deeds in my name only. Packed what I needed. Left my wedding ring on the kitchen counter. While I was there I did some digging. Went through the home office. Found some interesting stuff. Medical records. In her filing cabinet, buried under some other papers. The pregnancy test. The clinic appointment. Dated from 2 years ago, about a month after we'd had a conversation about starting a family. She'd gotten pregnant and terminated it 6 weeks later without saying a word. But here's what really got me. I also found texts she'd printed out. Emails. A whole paper trail between her and her mom planning the whole thing. Her mom telling her to take care of it quietly, and what he doesn't know won't hurt him. Her mom went with her to the appointment, coached her on how to hide it. This wasn't a scared woman making a panicked decision. This was planned, calculated, with her mother's help. I took photos of everything, every document, every text, every email, sent them to my lawyer, then put everything back exactly how I found it. Got back to the hotel and called my lawyer, told him what I'd found. He was quiet for a second. Then, this changes things. Premeditation, family conspiracy, judges notice that kind of thing. Divorce papers are being drawn up now. She's getting served next week. She has no idea it's coming. Her mom called this morning. I actually answered because I wanted to hear what she'd say. You're being incredibly cruel to my daughter. Your daughter was cruel first. She was in a difficult position. That she created. And that you helped her hide. How did you? Found your texts. Found everything. Another pause. Longer this time. I was supporting my child. And I was supposed to support mine, except I never got that chance because you two decided I didn't deserve to know. She tried to backtrack. I was twisting things. She only wanted what was best. I was being vindictive. You're going to destroy her life over this, she said. She destroyed our marriage. I'm just finalizing the paperwork. Hung up. Blocked her too. Papers get served this week. My lawyer says to prepare for chaos. The family's going to lose their minds, try to pressure me into reconciliation, paint me as the villain. He asked if I was ready. Told him I've been ready since I walked out of that dinner. Update 2. Papers got served. The chaos was immediate and exactly what my lawyer predicted. My wife tried calling from multiple different numbers. Her sister showed up at my hotel. Her dad cornered me in my work parking lot to yell about how I was abandoning his daughter. I just got in my car and left while he was mid-sentence. My lawyer filed standard stuff, irreconcilable differences, motion for me to keep the house since it's in my name and I bought it before marriage. She'd been living there 4 years but never paid the mortgage. Her lawyer came back swinging, demanded spousal support, half the house value and money for emotional distress from my abandonment. My lawyer actually laughed when he read it. Sent over all our evidence, the medical records, the texts with her mom, the emails, the timeline of lies. Added a note basically saying, "You sure you want to go this route?" They dropped the house claim but doubled down on spousal support, said she'd sacrificed her career for the marriage. She works in marketing, never quit, never reduced hours, never sacrificed anything career-wise. But living rent-free in my house for 4 years apparently counts as sacrifice. My lawyer responded with a breakdown of every expense I'd covered. Mortgage, utilities, property taxes, her car payment, she's on a lease in my name because her credit was garbage, insurance, groceries. Turns out when you document everything, the numbers tell a story. Meanwhile, the family pressure campaign kicked into high gear. Her brother showed up at my hotel. Don't know how he got my room number. This has gone too far, he said when I opened the door. Agreed. Should have stopped at the first lie. She made a mistake. People screw up. People face consequences. That's how it works. You're destroying her over one thing. That one thing was destroying me for 2 years. I just didn't know it yet. He tried the family angle. I was tearing everyone apart. His kids were asking about me. Christmas would be awkward. Should have thought of that before everyone decided lying to me was the family hobby. He got pissed. Started going off about how I was selfish, how marriage means forgiveness, how I was throwing away years over nothing. If it's nothing, why'd she lie? He didn't have an answer, just kept saying I should talk to her, give her a chance, try counseling. She had 2 years to give herself a chance to be honest. She chose not to. Closed the door. He stood there for a while, then left. But here's where it got interesting. Those medical records I found? There were also therapy bills. She'd been seeing a therapist starting about 6 months after the abortion. The bills were filed with our insurance stuff, bills I'd been paying without knowing what they were for because she told me they were for work stress. Mentioned this to my lawyer. He said it might matter. If she'd been in therapy about the abortion and the lying, there could be documentation showing she knew what she was doing was wrong. That could help in settlement talks. My lawyer subpoenaed the therapy records. Her lawyer fought it hard. Judge said records relating to the core issue were fair game. We got them last week. Reading those therapy notes was something else. Her therapist had pushed her to tell me multiple times. There were sessions documented about the ongoing deception and how it was affecting her mental health. Notes about her anxiety over getting caught. Notes about guilt. She knew the whole time. Knew it was wrong. Knew it was hurting the marriage. Kept doing it anyway. My lawyer took this new evidence and went back to her lawyer with a revised offer. I keep the house, my retirement accounts, my car. She keeps her car. I'll pay off the lease and transfer title. About $8,000 left on it. Her personal stuff, her retirement accounts. No spousal support either way. Clean split. Her lawyer took it to her. She said no. Came back demanding the house be sold and profits split, plus 3-year spousal support. My lawyer smiled when he told me. Perfect. Now we go to mediation with all our evidence and let the mediator see how unreasonable she's being. Mediation got scheduled. My lawyer's putting together a whole presentation. Timeline, medical records, therapy notes showing she knew it was wrong, financial records showing I paid for everything, text messages showing her mom helped plan the cover-up. Goal is to make her realize that if this goes in front of a judge, she's going to look really, really bad, he explained. Judges hate deception. They especially hate multi-year family conspiracies. Meanwhile, my wife's been busy. She sent a long email to an address that auto-forwards to my lawyer, she doesn't know that, about how she's finally ready to be honest and wants to rebuild trust. 2 years of lying, and now that there are legal consequences, she's ready for honesty. Funny how that works. The email was pages long. About how hard the abortion decision was, how scared she was of my reaction, how she was protecting us from pain, how she realizes now she should have told me, wants a chance to make it right. Not once did she actually apologize for lying, just explained why she did it, justified it, made it sound like she'd done me a favor. My lawyer added it to our file. This helps us, he said. She's admitting to the deception while showing zero real remorse. Her sister-in-law, the one who spilled everything, messaged me on social media, said she felt terrible, too much wine, never meant to cause problems. Maybe you did me a favor, I replied. Better now than in another 2 years. She didn't respond to that. I keep thinking about what her brother said, about throwing away years together, about how marriage means forgiveness. But here's the thing. Forgiveness requires actual remorse. Understanding that what you did was wrong. Taking responsibility. All I'm seeing is excuses, justification, attempts to minimize. She's not sorry she lied. She's sorry she got caught. Now that there are consequences, she's scrambling. That's not someone you rebuild trust with. That's someone you walk away from. Mediation's coming up. My lawyer says she'll probably cry, plead, make promises. Says her lawyer will probably try the "you're both hurting, counseling could help" approach. I told him I'm ready. Been ready since I stood up from that dinner table. Final update. Mediation happened, took all day, started in the morning, didn't end until evening. My wife looked rough, dark circles, messy hair. Her lawyer looked stressed, My lawyer looked locked in. Mediator was this older woman who'd apparently been doing this forever. Explain the process. Both sides present their case, we discuss, try to reach agreement. My wife's lawyer went first. Painted this picture of a marriage destroyed by one mistake and lack of communication. Said my wife had been dealing with mental health issues and I was being punitive instead of understanding. Then my lawyer's turn. He laid everything out. The timeline, the pregnancy test, the abortion appointment, the texts with her mom planning it, the emails about hiding it, the therapy notes showing she knew it was wrong, the financial records showing I'd supported her the whole time. The mediator's expression shifted as she went through it all. She looked at my wife. Did you know your husband wanted children? Yes, but did you discuss the pregnancy with him before terminating it? I knew he'd try to stop me. That's not what I asked. Yes or no? Did you discuss it with him? No. Did you tell him after? No. At any point in the 2 years following? No. The mediator stared at her for a long moment. Why not? My wife started crying, real tears this time. I was scared. I thought he'd leave me. So you lied instead. I was protecting our marriage. The mediator sat back. By building it on deception? My wife's lawyer tried redirecting. Talked about how marriage is complicated, people make mistakes, therapy could help. The mediator cut her off. I've been doing this for over 2 decades. I've helped couples work through infidelity, financial problems, addiction, you name it. But there's one thing that has to exist for any of it to work. Real remorse. She looked at my wife. I'm not seeing that here. I'm seeing someone who's upset they got caught, not upset about what they did. My wife tried to argue, but her lawyer stopped her. Whispered something. My wife shut up. The mediator turned to me. Do you want this marriage to continue? No. Is there anything that would change your mind? No. You're certain? Completely. She nodded. Then let's talk about a fair dissolution. Took hours of back and forth. My wife's lawyer kept pushing for more. Half the house, spousal support, half my retirement. My lawyer kept pointing to the evidence, the finances, how unreasonable her demands were given everything. Finally, late afternoon we reached a deal. I keep the house, my retirement, my car. She keeps her car. I pay off the remaining lease, about $8,000, and transfer title. Her retirement, all personal belongings. She gets $15,000 as a settlement for furniture and household items we technically bought together, even though I paid for most of it. No spousal support from either side. We split minimal debt, each pay our own legal fees. My wife looked defeated when her lawyer said she should take it. The mediator had made it clear that a judge would probably give her less given all the circumstances. She signed, I signed, done. Her lawyer asked if we wanted to talk privately before leaving. My wife looked at me hopefully. No, I said. We left through different exits. My lawyer drove me back to my hotel. Said he'd file everything tomorrow. Should be finalized in about 60 days after the waiting period. How you feeling? He asked, relieved. Got to my hotel room that evening, ordered food, sat there eating and thinking about the last few weeks. My phone started buzzing. Text from an unknown number. This is your ex-mother-in-law. You destroyed my daughter's life. Hope you're proud. Blocked without responding. Another text, different number, ex-brother-in-law. You're really doing this? Over something from years ago? Blocked. Another, ex-sister-in-law. I'm so sorry, never meant for this to happen. Blocked. They kept coming. Different numbers, same guilt trips and accusations. Blocked them all. Then around 9 at night, my phone rang. Another unknown number. Almost didn't answer, but something made me pick up. My wife. Drunk, crying. You're really leaving me? Yes. I love you. You don't lie to someone you love for 2 years. I made a mistake. You made a choice. Every single day for 2 years you chose to lie. That's not a mistake. I was scared. Then you should have been honest about being scared. Pause. Then, I'm pregnant again. My stomach dropped. What? I'm pregnant. Found out last week. I was gonna tell you at dinner, but then everything exploded. Stop. We're having a baby. Stop lying. I'm not lying. I can show you the test. Even if that's true, and I don't believe it, it changes nothing. You lied about the first pregnancy. Terminated it without telling me. Let me believe we were trying while you were on birth control. Why would I believe anything you say now? Because I'm telling the truth this time. You're telling me what you think will make me stay. That's different. She started sobbing. begging. Said she'd do anything, be anyone, change everything. Promises of honesty, therapy, whatever I needed. I listened for a minute, then said, "Hope you find someone who believes you. Won't be me. Goodbye." Hung up, blocked that number too. Sat there processing. The pregnancy thing was probably a last-ditch lie, but even if it wasn't, even if she was actually pregnant, it didn't matter. The trust was gone. Been gone for 2 years. I just hadn't known. This morning I started apartment hunting. Found a decent 1-bedroom near work. Signed a lease starting next month. Once the divorce is final and I'm sure she can't make claims on it, I'll sell the house. Too many memories anyway. Called my parents. They'd known something was wrong, but I'd been vague. Told them everything. Mom cried. Dad was quiet, then said, "You did right. Trust is everything." Called my best friend. Told him the story. He said, "Holy hell, man, I'm sorry." Asked if I wanted to grab beers. I said yes. Tomorrow I'm moving into the new place. Starting over. Gonna be weird living alone after 6 years with her. But weird beats betrayal. Divorce finalizes in about 2 months. Then it's officially done. I'm not angry anymore. That burned out somewhere along the way. What I feel now is clarity. The kind you get when something confusing suddenly makes sense. My wife lied to me for 2 years. Her whole family helped. They decided I didn't deserve honesty. Didn't deserve to be part of decisions affecting my life. When I found out and left, they acted like I was the problem, like I was unreasonable for not forgiving and forgetting and moving on. But some things you don't move on from. Some betrayals cut too deep, and that's okay. I'm not the villain for having standards. I'm not cruel for enforcing boundaries. I'm not heartless for choosing myself. That's the lesson here. Sometimes the right move is to walk away. Sometimes love isn't enough when there's no respect. So yeah. Divorced in 2 months, starting over at 32, learning to trust again. But I'm good. Better than I was at that dinner table sitting there thinking everything was fine, while everyone around me knew it wasn't. At least now I know, and I'm handling it on my terms. That's enough.